Right, it's the morning of day 18. Yesterday we had really great wind and it died off at 9 p.m. Yesterday, and it's been just dead. So we're bobbing around right now. We're going not even a knot. We had a cargo ship kind of come up behind us, so our engine obviously didn't work yesterday and we have no power right now for sailing, so we couldn't get out of the way. So we just kind of let them know to make sure that they could see us, and they just went to the starboard side of us. So we're just kind of waiting. It's a little frustrating. I know Seth's frustrated. We had such great wind yesterday, but even with great wind, we were only able to go like 80-85 miles in a 24-hour period because most of our nights are spent just sitting. So I don't know if you guys have ever done a crossing or know anybody else that have done a crossing. I'm curious to know if it's the season that we chose to come in or if it's just most nights the wind just dies off. So it's just kind of a bummer. So not really moving right now. We're hoping that it picks up soon and shortly. Got maybe 760 nautical miles left ish, if I'm remembering correctly, until we get to Hawaii, and then we'll be home free. But if we can only move 80 nautical miles a day, those 700 are gonna take a bit to cover. So all right, we're just gonna continue to sit and hope the wind fills in. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun is rising, but really it's probably earlier. We're just going based on the time on the nav station because we're moving time zones and we don't know when. I'm eating an English muffin with 3 clementines, and I'm going to download the weather because we still don't have wind. So this actually marks hour 12 of no wind for the night. Can't say it's the first night that this has ever happened, but it usually picks up by now, so I'm a little nervous thinking that it's probably going to be a slow day. I gotta download the weather and see what we're working with. Alright, so we're getting about 10 to 12 knots now. It's like 9:30. All the times are messed up because daylight savings happened during this as well as we're moving time zones. So it's about 9:30 are what we're going based on. In our minds. In our minds it's 9:30, but it really shouldn't be because the sun just rose. It's probably like 7 or 6. So we're going to raise the main a little bit because we think we can keep the sails full, and we're going to see what we can do. Maybe we can squeak out some miles. Honestly, even going 3 knots would be better than going 0.7. So we're going to see what we can do. I'm downloading the weather now. Seth just awoke from his slumber.
Once again.
Once again. Seth has awoke from his slumber. He looks so tired. Alright guys, I can't make this up. If you remember Flight Time, that little tiny little bird that I scooped up in my hands, brought outside, well, later that afternoon he came down below, and nighttime we all went to bed and we just assumed that he flew out. Haven't seen him for days, just absolute days, and the engine, we're troubleshooting the engine, so we kind of took out the engine apart and we started moving all of these boxes over here in Hope's room just so that we could get easier access to the engine. Flight Time has passed away. Flight Time has passed away, and by Hope's head. He just curled up in a ball, and we're gonna have to do a burial at sea. I'm like so shocked right now because I feel so bad. If we would have known, we should have got him and brought him out. He probably couldn't find how to get out, but we didn't see him for so long. And how did he get back there? Okay, so over here we keep our jackery, and then this is where the engine is, and then engine panel is here. We've been keeping all of these water bottles and everything in here just so that we can grab them and go, and refilling like Gatorade bottles with water. So we just moved that, and there is what used to be Flight Time. No longer. Not the reason for the engine issue, but this is bizarre. I feel so bad. Oh, your mom had a bird on her head, now it's dead in her bed. Man. Okay, just gonna go for it.
Grab it.
I know. Ah, alright, here's our burial at sea for Flight Time. What a great little bird he was. He just too small to live at sea and couldn't live on our boat, I guess. a sad time for flight time. Alright, post-funeral, we are back to regularly scheduled programming. Seth is looking in the engine. We saw something kind of burnt, like right at the bottom, like here, underneath the engine, so we're going to see what it is. Do you see anything? As we were trying to diagnose the engine issue down below, above deck we heard an odd sound, so Seth and I went up top and we noticed that our main sheet block broke. Luckily, we had a preventer on each side of our main, and because of that, it did take the load of all of the sail pressure, and it prevented our boom from slamming. So because we had these preventers on, it gave us time to go down below and find a new and more heavy-duty block that we were able to replace the old broken Harkin block with. We were able to stay on course and continue sailing without having to take down our mainsail at all during the time that we spent fixing it. Alright, I'll tighten up the main sheet. Whoa. Can't do two things at once. That's for sure.
That's the priority.
Yeah. Good morning from day 19. So yesterday we really struggled with wind. Day 18 was just super low wind. We putzed. I felt like all day we were like going 3 knots, sometimes 4, sometimes 2. Honestly, sometimes 1. We were going pretty slow. So day 18 was a struggle. However, at night, the wind started to pick up to like a steady 10, 12, 13 knots. And we put the mainsail out and we put the head sail out and we got moving and grooving. And I think we all thought it was going to just die off because that seems to be the trend, is at night it dies. However, yesterday was opposite. It was dead during the day and then it was actually a little bit better at night. So we were able to use the wind and we're still going. It's 9 o'clock right now. I do this because I still don't know what time it is. The sun hasn't risen yet, so it's really not 9. But according to us, it's 9 a.m. and it's been over 12 hours and we still have pretty consistent wind. We are heading more north, which seems a little counterintuitive and just feel a little weird on the map. Predict Wind has a whole dead zone of just no wind from where we are, as where we were yesterday, to Hawaii, if you just do like a straight shot. So we're actually going to go a little bit more north and catch the wind up there and just go west over. That way we can actually at least be moving and have wind and make our progress west instead of just sitting, especially now that we don't have the motor. So we are going to do that. We probably are as most north as we need to be now. We're going to give it like maybe 1 or 2 more hours. We're just going northwest and then we're going to tack and go west. And then we're going to keep going west with some good wind hopefully, and then drop down at like a southwest angle to hit Oahu. So probably 750-ish nautical miles away per our route. So I don't know what the direct line would be, maybe 600 direct, but we're gonna add a little extra mileage just kind of going up and over just to have some wind so we can move. So we will see how day 19 continues, hopefully with some good wind.
However, in that we could begin to estimate our capacity. And also in that we had started out with a very heavy load of provisions, which we decode at 100 and 130 miles south-southwest of the base. Of course, we could not have expected and became very panicked. That very brave and very peculiar wave and still wandered about in the forest. We
Alright, it's day 19 and I just realized that these little gimbals, I could never figure out how they go on, but they go on these tracks and only took me almost 20 days to figure it out to hold the pan. Good night. What a treat. Now I don't have to stand here for 30 minutes. I just sit on the stairs Look out at the horizon. Keep an eye on this. 20 days. Almost 20 days. What a deal. Right, so I got some sweet potato, black beans, onions, and I'm making some rice. And I'm gonna put it with a sauce. And we've been just using these paper plates. But I'm excited for this little meal because we've been eating, we emptied out our fridge mostly. So we pretty much don't have anything left in here. All this probably needs to slowly be thrown out. But the sauce I'm gonna use today, just use this ginger Thai sauce up. But all the stuff in here kind of went bad because we turned it off. So we've been just using up like cheese and just some of the things that like over the last few days would go bad. So now we can eat real food. Day 19, taking sails down for night. We actually have too much wind. Alright, so this is my little nook where I sleep. Got our good old life raft here. It's pretty heavy, it doesn't really move when we heel over. And then I got my AirPods because I've been using these to sleep. I put one in my ear to conserve power. If it's super loud, I'll put a podcast on or white noise. And I got my earplugs. Golden. These are so golden. And I usually put this around my head just to keep the AirPod or like the little earplugs in. And it's like a headband. But this is my view out the window. So the sun is setting. It's beautiful. It's just crazy to go to bed and have like just such a gorgeous view. I try not to remind myself that between all of that salt, corrosive water in the entire Pacific Ocean where whales live and sharks live, that there's only 3 inches of fiberglass between that water and this bed. I thought about that the first couple days. Now I just try not to remind myself that that's the case. So to conserve power, speaking of conserving power, those are dead. I gotta charge them. I use one AirPod in here. I've been listening to like a sleepy time podcast. And it's really been good. It's like basically a woman reading like about architecture. Puts me to sleep every time. And I have my little earplug in. Just like here. Then I put my headband on. Take my glasses off. Put them around my ears like this. Look a little silly, but it holds them in all night. Put these things up here. Make sure my alarm is set for my shift because I don't want to be missing my shift. I slept through my alarm one time. Felt real bad for Hope. I didn't mean to. Set it. Good night. Day 20, almost 3 weeks at sea, drying up the floor because we have a squall, a rain squall, and I just put these panels up, and poor Seth is taking one for the team. How you doing? Looks like clear skies over there. Little cloudy squalls over here. Fortunately, it's gonna be a rainy day. Alright everybody, it's day 20. We have been out at sea for just shy of 3 full weeks, which is bizarre. I thought we would be done by now. That we were actually going to be done. I thought the whole trip was going to take 20 days. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So I am just actually in Hope's room. Nap time has wrapped up. and I'm gonna actually make dinner for everybody. Today we're gonna do family tradition, a breakfast night on Sunday, because it's another Sunday. We're gonna do peach pancakes with like specialty jarred half peaches from Trader Joe's. But today, honestly, haven't really filmed much. I hope I can get a little bit of slack. I don't know, the boat's moving so much. Hope I can get some grace from you guys, because today we just have not been motivated. The sea state is just brutal. We haven't really slept much at all today. Day 15, we had a ton of wind and the storm, but I think we had adrenaline. So even though we didn't sleep, we had adrenaline. Now, this sea state isn't like dangerous or anything. It's just rolly and uncomfortable. And we just didn't sleep. So there's less adrenaline because it's not really a storm. We're just beating into the wind constantly. So we're just beating into the wind going 3 knots because the wind is coming from southwest, and that's where we would like to go. So we're just trying to keep like a 260, 270 heading, ideally 260, just to slowly make our way southwest and just at least stay west so that when the wind changes, then we can start going more southwest. So I think we're just a little discouraged. We did not think it would be this long of a trip. Just a discouragement of the wind. We don't have wind some days at all, and then we have wind some days but from the wrong direction, and then sometimes we have so much wind it's like crazy. So it's also November, so we left on Halloween and Thanksgiving is this Thursday, so we're definitely not going to be back by Thanksgiving. Yeah, I think today has just been hard, discouraging. The mental toughness side of the crossing is kind of kicking in, where it's 3 weeks out at sea. It's very rolly and uncomfortable today. We don't have any food in the fridge because we turned off the fridge, so we're just eating basic food and we're just pretty tired. Barely have the motivation to cook today, but I am going to try to keep the family tradition alive. And I don't want to eat canned soup or ramen because I've had a lot of canned soups. And it's actually, honestly, in a rolly condition, last time I made canned soup, brutal. Don't eat soup on a rolly day. Because you put that in a bowl and try to bring that up to the cockpit, and you will not have success. Since we haven't officially moved into the boat, I'm using this as a bowl because our big bowls for mixing are on our other boat in Hawaii, and we're not there yet. So, pancake mix. I'm going to take the juice and the white grape juice from these peach halves, pour them in here, and then you make peach pancakes. So let's see how this works. The sea state, it always doesn't look bad on camera anytime, but it's always a little bit more rolly than it shows in pictures. Luckily we didn't get as much rain I think as we thought, but we did get rain. So we got dumped on this morning, Hope and I shift. She could barely see out of her glasses, like she couldn't see the compass, she couldn't see the sails, because rain was all over the glasses. I took mine off because I can see without my glasses, but a little rainy. Then Seth got dumped on earlier, and there were a couple other squalls that we had. Higher winds than predict wind. It's like crazy that sometimes when there's no wind they have forecasted higher winds, but then now we have so much wind and it forecasts lower winds. So a little rolly, sky's been cloudy. I'm hoping we don't get any more little squalls tonight. I think they were forecasted kind of throughout today and tomorrow. We were preparing for like 48 hours of just like straight rain, straight squall, but one big squall I think I was thinking of instead of mini squalls. So I'm hoping that we're going to be out of the woods, but we'll see. We'll keep a weathered eye on the horizon. But I'm holding on hope that tomorrow the wind is going to change in the direction that favors our path. So everybody else says that it may not, it may not. We went 140 nautical miles yesterday. Today, so far, we have done 40. So we're actually still doing okay. I mean, it's almost 8 o'clock, which is like the halfway point because we clock every 8 a.m. is like a new day. So maybe we'll get an 80 miles today. And if we could get an 80 miles, that's only 20 miles short of our quota, but we went over our quota yesterday. I'm the metric person. I like to look at the numbers. Nobody else cares, but I care. Gotta meet the quota, gotta meet the quota. So anyways, here is the sea state behind me. I kind of got a little sick making those pancakes. Wasn't the best idea, but you don't make soup when it's rolly, and I just didn't know what else to do. So pancakes it was. Here, oh, it looks like a lake. It's so stupid. It's very rolly, folks, and I am not feeling it. It's not comfy, even though it doesn't look that bad. We've talked a lot about seeing land in the near future when we get to say land ho, and Seth said that, I don't know if you've heard it somewhere or whatever, that you can smell land as you get closer. So I don't buy it. I'm saying that we can't smell it. He's thinking that we can. If you have ever been on a passage or anything and you've seen land and you've smelled it, let us know in the comments down below, because I'm very curious. But we'll have to wait to see about another week, and then we'll get to see land and maybe smell land and then step on dirt. Never been more excited to step on dirt, and I can't wait to high five some of our neighbors. I just feel like some high quality high fives right now would be so great. Just like, we did it, double high fives. I think about that a lot. Just like, I'm gonna go back and we're gonna just high five and we're gonna say we did it. Kiss the ground. Good morning, everyone. It is day 21. It's super early in the morning. I just finished my first 2-hour night shift and the winds finally shifted. So within a few minutes of my shift, not only was it downpouring, but the winds shifted from coming from the southwest to now coming from the northwest, which means now we can go southwest, which is awesome because we were starting to go northwest a smidge. We were trying to hold a 270 heading, but it was kind of creeping up to 300, so which is northwest. So now we can go southwest. We have like a 240 heading now to just kind of curve our way slowly to the islands. So it's a little cold out there just because it was rainy. We've been just hitting squall after squall, but now I'm gonna grab a snack, just kind of close my eyes, and then get ready for my next shift. And I'm very excited that the wind shifted because now we can actually move in the right direction, and that's a good thing. Day 21, it's late afternoon, I guess. We're about to make some dinner, but the wind has stayed consistent coming from the northwest, which is allowing us now to officially drop down towards Hawaii. So we have about 450 nautical miles left approximately, and it's pretty much all downwind sailing from here on out. So we have the main up and the jib up right now going towards Hawaii. I think if we make a direct line there, it's like 399 miles from where we are. But that's not really practical. We're gonna have to do some like jibes and tacks and all those different things. So we probably have about 450 miles left. We're hoping to arrive this weekend, which will make us just shy of 4 weeks out at sea, which is pretty crazy. Definitely longer than we thought, but we will be arriving shortly. So just a couple hundred miles left. You can count it on one hand, and we're just doing some great downwind sailing.
So So we just put up the code. We're trying to do some downwind sailing. The wind's lightened out a bit. We're waiting for the sea state to lighten up. Hopefully that happens tonight and we can use the code 0 for tonight, tomorrow, maybe the next day. And we're just gonna slowly drive our way down to Hawaii, going southwest. And we'll see how long it takes us.
Alright, you can see the seas are a little rolly. It's been a little rolly the last couple of days. I've been the most seasick. Not throwing up, but just a little queasy. So it doesn't look like a lot, but it is causing our sails to flap. We brought in the jib and brought in the main, and we're trying the code 0. The waves should die down, but they definitely aren't helping with the wind to wave ratio. We're getting a little flaps. This is what it is when you don't wash your hair for 21 days. Anyways, we have a small tear in the sail at the top, and a small little tear, I think maybe at the bottom corner, which is kind of a bummer. However, we always buy used things for the most part, so this was a used sail for $700. We've used and kind of abused it this past 3 weeks. We've really been using it. So it is what it is. If it was a $10,000 sail, my stomach would drop, but it's $700. So we can get it patched up and keep using it. And then honestly, the way I think about it is it got us from California to basically Hawaii. We used it a ton. Wouldn't have been able to really do the trip without it because we had a lot of light wind days. Oh, ayo. Had a lot of light wind days. So we'll see. We'll just go from there. Maybe patch it up when we get there, but for now, just small little hole. Not even, it's not fully a hole yet. You can still see the hatch mark, so just it's sheared out a bit. Okay, good morning. It is day 22 in the morning, and it's maybe, I don't even know, 1:12, maybe midnight. It's not my shift yet. My shift doesn't start for a couple hours, but I heard something when I was sleeping, and I decided to come up and see if they needed help. And our code 0, I know I just said yesterday I had a rip in it. Well, it's got... it's done. It's a horizontal tear throughout the whole code. So we won't be able to use the light wind sail anymore, but it was in the ocean. So we were fishing it out from the side decks just so that it didn't go in the ocean, and we put it in the cockpit. But we now don't have a light wind sail, which is definitely a bummer. So we do have some wind though, so we're gonna hoist the main and the jib, I think, and get going, because now we don't have a motor and we don't have a light wind sail, so we have to rely solely on our main and our jib. Again, it was a used sail, so it's not a bummer for like, I mean, it's a bummer, it's a sail and we spent money on it, but at the same time, could be worse. Could be our main, could be our jib, which are in good condition. So we're gonna just make the other ones work and get to Hawaii, because we're pretty close now, so it's better counting our blessings that it didn't happen in the beginning. Yeah. Okay, I'm coming. Alright, so here's our code. We just put it in the cockpit. Definitely unfortunate, but it's not in the ocean, and it is what it is. We just hoisted the main, and Seth is running the lines for the jib because we had to use those lines for the code. So we are pivoting because of the code. No longer in commission. Day 22. We are packing away the code. It's been officially decommissioned. And today we have okay wind. We're using the main and the jib. We're humming right along. But we're not sure what to do with this. It's probably beyond repair, so we'll have to see what the options are. Might be time to recycle and move on.
So we have a power couple on board, and the power couple is Jack and Jenny, and that's been how we've been keeping our batteries charged. Jenny's the generator, and we've been using Jenny about an hour a day to charge up Jack, which is our solar battery bank. So Jack will get some solar, and then we usually top it off with the generator. And that's been keeping all of our house batteries and anything else like phones, iPads, and all of our Iridium and navigational stuff charged up, and camera gear is all plugged into jack. And the Jackery is nice because it's quiet, it doesn't make any noise. You can still get some solar. We just haven't been able to keep up, so with the rest we just top it off with the generator. And that way we don't have to run the generator as much because the generator is loud and uses a little bit of gas, but it's pretty efficient. Yeah, we haven't even made it through our 5-gallon jug of gas, and it's day 22, so we've used it for about 22 days.
Danny and Jack. How are you?
Not that tight.
Not this tight?
No. Yeah, that's fine. You got yours tight?
Yeah, she's a snug.
You got yours tight? Huh?
Opposite day.
Alright, day 22. It's 6 p.m. Probably 3 p.m. Hawaii time, but we're going by 6. Good day today. We recovered post-sail blowout last night. Got that in the boat. It felt like it was so heavy. We were just pulling it up. It felt like we were fishing, like with fishing nets, and we caught the fish mother load, but we didn't. It was a sail. It was a very wet sail. So that happened last night, but we've had some decent wind today. We have 13 knots at about 90 degrees. We are making our way to Hawaii. We have 294 nautical miles if we were to go in a straight line to Hawaii. We're jibing our way there, so it'll be a bit more, but we're trying to do the most efficient drives possible so that we can just keep it as low miles as possible. If I look at the chart though, what's crazy is we've actually done 2,272 nautical miles sailed since we left in 22 days. So we're averaging a little over 100 nautical miles a day. And I think that's about it. I showered today with salt water. Waited apparently till day 22. I should have done it much sooner. My morale instantly improved when I became clean. When my hair stopped being greasy. Yeah, Hope says I was cheating and I showered, but I just look at it as I was harnessing nature's water. Is this Thanksgiving dinner? Is Project Thanksgiving protein a success? Well, then don't let them die then, because then we are
That looks like 4 people, 1 meal. Small portions.
Thanksgiving's early this year.
Right here. All right, dog, let's be careful.
Well done.
That was very quick.
Well done, doctor.
Definitely too small.
You think so?
Yeah.
He just looked big to
Okay.
me, but yeah, he was small. Smaller than the last one.
Day 23, we caught our second fish, a mahi-mahi. All of us were excited. 3 of us, Seth, Natalia, and I, were sitting silently here in the cockpit. And suddenly Natalia said, "Oh, look at that!" And I think that if anyone were to say that in reference to anything, in a boat like ours, on a trip like ours, everyone would perk up. Anyway, the fishing rod was bent, but was not zinging. And the fish that we caught, I thought looked delicious. I thought would have been a perfect Thanksgiving dinner, which is what we're trying to catch. But Seth, who reigns on our parade over here, said that the fish is too small.
Too small.
So we let him go.
So on day 4, we caught our first mahi-mahi, and we haven't fished since because we turned off the fridge. So since we turned off the fridge, haven't been fishing because it just didn't make sense. Now we're at the point of the trip where the trip's almost done. We would love to catch some Thanksgiving dinner, and I did have Seth promise that if we catch a fish, we'll just turn on the fridge just for the last little bit, just because we don't want to waste it. So we haven't fished since day 4, so it's been actually 19 days because it's day 23. We put that lure in this morning at maybe 11 o'clock. And it's 3, and we already caught a mahi technically, but we released. A catch and release. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so we're gonna put it back in. It's already 4, and the cutoff for Hope is 4 o'clock. We do not fish after 4 because then dinner is too late. So we are gonna try to start again tomorrow in the morning fishing, try to catch another one, and then have it for dinner. And with some potatoes. I've got a pumpkin bisque and make like a whole thing for Thanksgiving. Kind of revolves semi around the fish. Downwind sailing, light wind today, so we have a little bit of flapping in the sails, if you can hear, ready and flap. So we're just kind of moving slowly. It's definitely not ideal, but gotta do what we gotta do because we don't have a motor and we have light wind today. But we're almost there. We're about 200-ish miles if we did a straight line. It's probably 250 nautical miles that we have to sail left. So should be in this weekend, hopefully. Moving slow. Look at the birds. They're moving faster than us. Trying the best we can to keep them full. At this point, you may be asking, just use your motor, use your engine. We have a Yanmar, let's use it. But we started it, I forget what day it was, it's kind of all a blur now. And started smoking, so it may be an electrical issue. I think it's way too big for us to try to fix on this crossing, and it could be dangerous. Something completely burned, if you missed it, completely burned under the engine. It was like ash, that not safe to turn on and even risk trying because we don't want to start a fire and we don't want to make a bigger problem with the engine. So that's going to be something to troubleshoot when we get back, but for now we do not have an engine, so we have to use the sails, and obviously we don't want them to flap. We're trying the best we can as we jibe to just kind of put the swell behind us and just make the best of it. Seth's putting in the work at the helm. I'm about to kind of turn in and go to bed, and we're just putzing along. It's definitely a bummer, but when you don't have a motor, right now, if we had the motor, we would just be like basically just powering through the next couple days at like 4 or 5 knots towards Hawaii in a direct line. But alas, we have to use our heads and we have to use our sails. We can't just turn on and burn diesel. So there you have it, folks. That's why we are not running the engine. Good morning, it is day 24. It's also Thanksgiving, so we'll be doing Thanksgiving today on the Pacific. I'm sitting here, it's in the morning, sun's just rising, I'm eating my canned pineapple. Just the last couple of days I've been really craving this, so I've been just enjoying some canned pineapple as we get closer to Hawaii. We are probably about 180 miles out. We mapped it and we have about 149 miles until like outside of Oahu, and then we just have to get from the edge of Oahu, like Diamond Head, right into the harbor. So we probably have around 160, 170, max 180 miles left. So we have had decent wind yesterday. Sails were flapping at night, but then as we went through the night, the wind picked up and we were actually able to kind of skip jibing and go more in a straight line. So we're trying to do that because that's obviously the most efficient way to get to Hawaii. Hopefully it keeps up. That would be really great because then we can just go straight versus zigzagging all over the place. So we are planning on getting in this weekend. I am trying not to get my expectations up, but they are up. Today is Thursday. I think by Sunday to be able to pound out the rest of the miles is definitely probable. Last night I wasn't thinking it was gonna be really tight as of last night because we really weren't moving. But now that we're moving, we are encouraged. So day 24 Thanksgiving. We'll try to catch a fish today, probably. If not, we'll have some pumpkin soup. We'll be at Hawaii soon.
Beneath the shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground.
Alright, what are you doing? Is it Operation Catch Thanksgiving Dinner? The reason Seth is fishing now is we're going 5.5 knots, which is what? A good trolling speed.
Marvelous.
Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in a life you never could afford? Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let
Yeah.
We lost.
We lost it? That's the second Thanksgiving fish we lost today.
So we've been fishing all day today. We've had 2 bites. One jumped in the water, looked like a mahi,
was big.
itself, and got off the hook. Second one we just caught was a big one, and it was on the line for like a minute, not even, a couple seconds, and we lost it. And the line broke, looks like, and we lost our lure and our hook. Now we're redoing it.
And it was such a good lure. We were catching all the fish with it. That was 4 fish that we potentially could have gotten.
But now we know what type.
Yeah.
This one's different, so we'll see if this one works.
The same colors, right? Alright, hopefully this is a lucky charm. Our last one was killing it. This one, hopefully the same. Little feather. They say yellow, orange, white, green are the colors. Ow, ow, ow! You hooked me. You hooked me.
your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in a life you never could afford?
Use my winch muscles. That's right. Ooh, this smells so good. Oops, sorry.
Yum.
Does it smell like Thanksgiving?
It does.
actually does. Like, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Well, Seth, is this your favorite Thanksgiving or what?
Sure is. Can't beat the view.
What's the view like out here?
A lot of blue. Blue sky, blue water.
One might say too much blue.
Only if you don't like blue. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. What do you think of the
Marvelous.
soup?
What do we wish for Thanksgiving this year?
Is that how Thanksgiving works?
I think we may normally give your blessing, right? What you're thankful for.
Is that good? Alright folks, we're moving at about 5-ish knots. Staying on our line to 11.
You can still take flight, although you're earthbound.
They're so cute. Alright everybody, these are my favorite birds I've ever seen in my life. Seth doesn't like them because they're going to poop on our deck. But they're... What?
I named them.
Mom, there's 4 of them out there.
Well, I named
name
2
them?
of them.
What did you name
Anna and Lulu. Anna and Lulu.
We named them. They're my favorite birds. They're so cute. And look at them. They got like a little farm over here. They're so cute. There's 5 of them. Oh, there's another one. There's 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and 1's incoming. I just think they're the cutest little things I've ever seen. They're so cute. Got a little farm. Oh, look at the one. He's on the anchor. He's just sitting on the anchor. Why don't you like them? They're so cute.
Seth discriminates against birds that poop.
I know, he doesn't like any birds that poop.
It's all poop.
Which is all birds.
All poop and all birds.
He doesn't like them. He wants us to go scare him, but they're just having a great little time up there. All right, I just got in my bunk. It is the end of day 24, which was Thanksgiving today. Really great meal. That pumpkin bisque just hit the spot. It was so good. And we are just a little bit over 100 nautical miles until we hit the coast of Oahu with the Makapuku Lighthouse. And I am very, very excited. So we will see land tomorrow on day 25, and then it's going to take a little bit of time to get from once we see land around into Pearl Harbor. So we're probably going to arrive on the morning of day 26. So very, very exciting. We are just around the corner from seeing land. So I'm going to get some sleep tonight because I want to stay up as late as possible until the sun sets tomorrow, because we'll get to see the sunset hopefully over Oahu. So stay tuned, because it's going to be a pretty big day tomorrow, and I can't wait. It's been a long trip, but it's been a great trip. It's been an epic journey. I cannot believe we are going to be back, and that it's probably going to take 26 days. I think we thought it was going to be 3 weeks, but what's another week? So day 24 in the books, Thanksgiving in the books, land ho tomorrow. So gotta get sleep for land ho. It's day 25 and we have seen land quite a few times. So we first saw Molokai, then we saw Maui, and now we see Oahu, and I will show you them on the front. We're passing all the islands. We are about 25 nautical miles maybe away from the edge of Oahu, and then we're just gonna go right into the harbor. Probably tomorrow, if the wind's looking like it's gonna die tonight, so we don't want to do the harbor at night. So we'll just probably putz around the harbor and then go in tomorrow on day 26 in the morning. But Maui's behind me, Molokai, and then in front of us, where we're headed, Oahu. I was envisioning calling Harbor Control to get into Pearl Harbor, and it'd be a very exciting call, ready to go. But instead we're going to ask them if we can transit the harbor at night and go very slow, because we have 3 nautical miles to get there outside of the buoy markers of the harbor, and then transit into the harbor itself. And we don't have an engine, and we're moving really, really slow. So if we could just putz all night and get to our slip by morning, that would be ideal. But if not, then we're going to just have to putz around Honolulu in the dark tonight and then just go in the morning. So I'm going to give them a buzz. Harbor Control, this is sailing vessel post time.
Exiting from Sea to Rainbow Bay Marina.
Yes.
8 souls on board.
4 souls on board.
Permission granted.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, we have permission to transit all dang night. Did they know we're going? I said, right?
I mean, you said it.
I said we have no engine and we're moving slow. It's weird, it radios in here. It was throwing me off. I heard myself.
That's why they sent the Coast Guard.
Yep.
Are there 5 people right now? Or 4?
Alright, so it's the end of day 25, and we did a total of around 2,600 nautical miles. We'll have to look to get the exact number, but we're thinking it's around there.
2650 probably.
And the Coast Guard just towed us in to Pearl Harbor. We were debating on sailing in. We kind of ran out of time, and there wasn't any wind. So instead of drifting all night trying to get in, we just had them tow us in. We have now arrived, and we made it.
Feels good. I feel dead and tired. The boat's an absolute mess. They came into this boat and I was just like, Don't look around. We got a random Coast Guard inspection after the tow just because it's policy for them. So pulled out all of our safety gear and showed them around this messy boat. So we'll clean up tomorrow. All the chores begin tomorrow. Cleaning the outside of the boat, garbage out, but for now, showers. But for right now, I think we're just gonna go to bed.
Hope's already in bed.
That's right. I am the first one to bed. Not the first one to shower, the first one to bed.
Alright, mission accomplished.
We did it.
We did it.
Jack's at 0%. He died right as we pulled in, but he got us here. Now we can charge him up. Now that we have shore power.
No generator today.
That's
Jenny.
right, Jenny did not help.
Jenny didn't help the team. Days of being at sea. Thank you so much for watching all 4 episodes of our Pacific Ocean crossing. We hope you enjoyed sailing with us for over 2,600 nautical miles. For now, we're going to enjoy stretching our legs on land and a celebratory meal with some fancy drinks. We'll see you back here next week. See ya!